Hey guys, Mr. T here for another ranking video. I really like these ranking videos because some people reached out and they're like, "Oh, I agree with you," and another person was like, "Oh, that sucks," and I'm like, "Yep, well, my opinion, it's my opinion. So if you don't like it, great. If you keep watching my videos and you don't like it, well, that's on you." So let's go into another ranking video. So I've always alluded to this one, and I always allude to some of my favorite games and movies and stuff, so I thought it's time to set the record straight on what I like. So these are my top 10 favorite, technically top 11 favorite, and I'll explain that later, media franchises of all time. And the way this video works is I didn't just take movies or games or comics or memorabilia or collectible. I took the franchise as a whole. So like Marvel, I didn't just look at Marvel comics or the MCU or the animated. So I took Marvel. Anything Marvel I put together. Anything from like what is like DC I put together. So not just DC comics or DC, movies and stuff. I took everything. So like Mario, I took everything Mario. You should be some foreshadowing for you, by the way. And I put it together. And here's the thing. There's some things on this list or things that you're not going to see on this list that I've talked about really liking, or I'm like, oh, that's one of my all-time favorite this or one of my all-time favorite that. And the reason it didn't make the list is it doesn't have enough content to be a full-blown franchise. So if something has like 2 or 3 movies and that's it, or it has like 2 or 3 TV shows or 1 or 2 TV shows and that's it, I didn't really count that. I'm only counting the things that have an actual built-up franchise, multiple movies, a fan theory, or a fan following. Maybe it has movies and comics, or movies and TV shows. Maybe it has a video game and movies, stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. So franchises that have been established as a franchise across multiple media entertainment. So movies, games, collectibles, music, what have you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting into here. So my honorable mentions are these. I threw Avatar on there because, again, Avatar 1 and 2, that doesn't make enough Avatar-related stuff to truly be the franchise that I'm looking at in terms of the rules for this ranking. But again, Avatar 1, the original, again, we're talking about the blue people. I know I have Avatar The Last Airbender on there because that's still awesome too. But the blue people, Avatar and then Avatar Way of Water are my first and third favorite movies of all time. I love those movies, and I even learned the language a little bit. So I had to put it on it by at least an honorable mention. But some of my other honorable mentions are the Transformers series. And again, I'm not just talking about the movies. Everything I mention in this video is the entire franchise. Not just the movies by Michael Bay. Not just the toys or the TV show. All of it. Okay, same thing with like Naruto, the series, the movies, all of that stuff. Astrobot in the bottom right, I almost didn't throw it on there, but it's like there are several Astrobot games. There's plushies. There's a little tech and not an unofficial cartoon, whatever. And it's a cool series. I really like it. My son likes it, so I threw it on there as an honorable mention. But we got Pirates of the Caribbean, Gears of War, Power Rangers, Call of Duty, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and again, these are the franchises as a whole. So it's not one particular Call of Duty. I know that's the Modern Warfare background, but it's Call of Duty in general. Black Ops, Modern Warfare, World at War, Warzone, all of it. So that's what I'm getting into here in this ranking video, and that's how I'm going off of it. Alright, so I want to do something a little different for this because let's be completely honest, if you've watched any of my videos, if you know me in any way, heck, if you see me passing by you on the street, you probably already know what my number 1 and maybe my number 2 is. So I'm going to go ahead and just get those out of the way, and you've probably already guessed it. My number 1 is Pokemon and my number 2 is Harry Potter. That should have never been in anyone's doubt. Anyone who's ever even looked at me has probably guessed Pokemon or maybe Harry Potter, depending on the day. But Pokemon is the greatest media franchise of all time. And that's not just my opinion. It is literally the highest grossing media franchise of all time. It's made more money than most of the other ones on my list put together. Go look it up if you don't believe me. Pokemon is the most profitable franchise in history. It makes more money than anything. And again, Pokemon has been around for over 25 years now, and I've loved it every single year. From the day Pokemon hit the shores of the United States, I've been a fan. Pokemon has been my favorite franchise ever. Like, I can't remember a time in my life where Pokemon wasn't number one. And of course, I got to give a shout out to Charizard. I'm not a Charizard fanboy. I'm not a bandwagon. I've been a fan of Charizard since the 1990s. So back off and stop it, okay? Because I know what some people are thinking when I say Charizard's my favorite. Charizard's been my favorite before some of you viewers have even been alive. So let's just get off that. And again, Harry Potter, I grew up with it. It was a multi-generational thing for me. I read the books. I went to the midnight launches of the movies. I cannot tell you how many times me and my friends shot paper at each other. That's all I'm going to say, and it wasn't actually paper. But again, I own multiple wand sets, and then I went and got married. And you would think my nerddom would go away. My wife is almost as big of a Harry Potter fan as me. So that just made it worse. So again, these two are my two. Again, anyone who has any knowledge of me as a person should have already seen this coming. So I just wanted to get those out of the way. It's like when I do a Pokemon ranking video, we all know who's going to be number one unless the rules say otherwise. It's going to be that guy right there on the screen. Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into the others. So I was going to do top 10, and I said top 10. I really did top 11 because my number 11... it's clear as day my number 11. And honestly, depending on the day of the week or the day of the year or how much my number 10 keeps screwing up, and you'll see what I mean, it could be in my top 10. And my number 11 favorite franchise is Mass Effect. I mean, there was a time period in my life where Mass Effect was a top 3 for me. I mean, honestly, like it's never really, like nothing has ever really competed with Pokemon or Harry Potter. But that number 3 spot could change all the time, depending on the week, the day, the month, whatever. Mass Effect at one point in my life was my number 3. This game morphed my life. I mean, I played this game online more than Call of Duty and Halo. I mean, this game was everything. And then they went and screwed up the ending of the third one. I'm glad they fixed it with updates and DLC. They still could have done better. But these games were phenomenal. The storyline is phenomenal. And I'm trying to get my wife, if we ever have a daughter, to name our daughter Liara. Like, I'm still pushing for that. And she's actually coming around to it, too. She's actually kind of on board. But again, this franchise, I still love it to this day. Andromeda wasn't the greatest, but it was still a fun game. I thought it got a lot of flack that it shouldn't have. And I still wish they would hurry up and release that next game. BioWare... they know what they're doing. I wish they would give Star Wars over to BioWare and just let BioWare handle it like they did with Knights of the Old Republic, because that would help Star Wars out. Speaking of that, my number 10 is Star Wars. Now, Star Wars should be much higher on this list. I have been a Star Wars nerd as long as I can remember. The first live movie I ever saw in theaters was Star Wars Phantom Menace, okay? And again, I love my opinions because some of them are controversial. Phantom Menace was not that bad. I think Phantom Menace was better than 4, 5, and 6. Fight me on it. But again, that was the first movie I saw in theaters that was live action. The only movies before that was like Lion King and stuff, so like animated stuff. But Star Wars has been a huge part of my life. I am still a Star Wars nerd. I will geek out on Star Wars, and Star Wars is life. I mean, honestly, Star Wars should be number 3 on my list. If I'm really being serious, with as much knowledge and love and geekiness and nerdiness I have for Star Wars, it should be 3rd on my list. The problem is, Star Wars has sucked over the last 10 or so years. The movies are garbage. The TV shows have been horrible. I have been rewatching Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars TV series just to hold me over. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. And don't get me wrong, there have been a few Star Wars things that have come out that aren't bad. Like, I really liked the Obi-Wan series. I heard Andor was great, and the few things I watched from it were good. But those little goods don't outweigh the bad. Honestly, if Star Wars gets any worse, I might even just take it off my top 10 list, which kills me inside because for the longest time, Star Wars is probably the one thing that challenged Harry Potter for my number 2 slot. Never challenged Pokemon, but I would be completely honest. Star Wars at some points in my life probably bumped Harry Potter down to 3, and Star Wars was number 2. I love this franchise, and I will continue to love it no matter how much dog doo-doo it is or it's going down the toilet with. Mostly because of the Clone Wars. I still wish they would start going backwards for some of these movies. Why can't we get a Sith War movie and stuff and all that? And I'm going to stop before I go on a major tangent because, again, Star Wars is the only thing that has ever challenged Harry Potter for that number 2 slot. Again, it's never challenged Pokemon. Nothing will ever challenge Pokemon. But Star Wars is life, but it sucks what they've been doing to it lately. So now my number 9 is Assassin's Creed, and if you haven't seen it yet, I just posted my Assassin's Creed ranking video just for the fun of it, so go watch that one. But yeah, Assassin's Creed, I mean, again, I was a history teacher for 10 years, and I still teach history. I tutor, I do like history videos. I'm going to do more of them coming up soon. History is still my life. I won't stop with history. I do history for fun. I have maps all over my house. History is me. It's my very identity of who I am as a person. And Assassin's Creed arguably is one of the more historically accurate just franchises out there. I mean, outside of the main storyline or the main characters, the rest of the games are accurate. And most of the characters that you kill that are like named real characters, that is where and when they died in real life. Now, the how they died, that's obviously made up because they weren't getting stabbed in the throat. Well, some of them might have. History is pretty bloody. But again, Assassin's Creed, it's always going to be a top 10 for me because of the historical side of it. Now, my number 8, going back a little, is Halo. Halo 4 sucked. It was garbage. Anyone who knows anything about Halo knows Halo 4 was garbage. Halo 5 was the biggest steaming pile of dog poop I've ever seen in my life. Halo Infinite started to bring it back. But the original Halo trilogy and then Halo ODST was golden. That was peak video gaming. Halo 3 and Halo Reach are 2 of the greatest video games of all time. Nostalgia-wise alone, Halo Reach is next level to me. Halo Reach will always be one of my favorite older games. I put more hours into Halo Reach than I care to admit. I even went to tournaments. I've won tournaments on Halo 3 and Halo Reach. I've won money on tournaments on those games before. So Halo has always been a huge part of my life. I've read the books. I've seen, I saw the TV series. Oh, it was garbage. It sucked. You basically had people who didn't know what Halo was make a TV show about the Halo series. And everything that Halo had already done, they basically took it and threw it out the window. Basically like Star Wars. But again, this franchise, I mean, even though 5 was garbage, I still played it and beat it. I still beat it on Legendary. I mean, some of my best memories from my childhood, other than like Pokemon or Harry Potter or Star Wars, came from Halo. I mean, I still remember those late night, online matches. I still remember doing the Halo 3 Ghost Run on Legendary to get our recon helmets, all that stuff. This series will always hold a special place in my heart because of how big it was for me in my childhood. Now, I know I'm going to get some flack for this, okay? Because there is multiple comic book series or franchises on here, and this one got lower than the other one. So Marvel is number 7. Again, there is another comic book franchise on this list. Now, don't get me wrong. The Marvel Cinematic Universe up until about 4 years ago was phenomenal. After the Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home, I always butcher which one is which. The most recent Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it. After that movie came out, everything else Marvel has been garbage. The new Captain America movie, Brave New World, was actually pretty good. I'm not the type of guy who likes, race swapping and stuff like that. Like, I feel a character should stick to the character. So when Sam Wilkins got the shield, it was done right. I like the way they did it. I love how Steve Rogers was done. He was retired. He was the old man. He was giving the shield to Sam and passing that on. It wasn't forced. It wasn't anything. It was done right. So I am glad that Sam is now Captain America. But the movies now aren't that good. Brave New World wasn't horrible. It was a good movie, but it's not because of Sam that it was bad. It was just the movie wasn't good. And that's the thing is, some of the Marvel stuff that's come out recently, especially the last one or two movies like Brave New World and Thunderbolts, they're not bad movies, but compared to what we used to get with Marvel in their prime, back like Iron Man 2 and the Avengers movies and, Winter Soldier and all that, these newer stuff, it almost feels like, guys, just throw in the towel, let Marvel die for a bit, give it like 5 or 10 years, and then just do a full reboot. That's kind of where I'm at with Marvel right now. Like, it should have ended with Endgame. Again, don't get me wrong, the Spider-Man movie was great, but it should have ended with Endgame. Iron Man's snap, Tony Stark's snap, should have been it. The funeral should have been the last thing we saw. They close out the Marvel series. They ride on the coattails with the media, maybe make some side TV shows that didn't really do anything, and then in about 10 years just reboot the whole thing. It almost feels like they're forcing it at this point, and that's what's causing Marvel to go down. Now, my next one is DC. Now, technically, I've always been a DC fan over Marvel. Between Batman and Flash and Green Arrow and even Superman and stuff, I've always liked DC better than Marvel. I've liked the comics better. And here's the thing, I don't care who you are, the animated side, DC wins every time. If you think animated Marvel is better than animated DC, I'm sorry, but you need to go get checked for a brain tumor. Because animated side, DC blows Marvel out of the water. It's not even a competition. And I know diehard Marvel fans who even think that. But when we're looking at the franchises as a whole, I love Marvel, don't get me wrong. But DC, it's classic and iconic, and it's just, truth, justice, and the American way. And that's the thing is, I love DC. Again, don't get me wrong, the DC universe sucked. Those movies were garbage because they were trying to do in 1 to 2 years what Marvel did over 10 plus years. So they kind of shot themselves in their own foot because of that. But the rest of the DC franchise, which is what this video is about, it makes it better. Plus, my favorite superheroes of all time, if I did like my 10 favorite superheroes, hint, hint, Batman is my number 1. I mean, don't get me wrong, Spider-Man's my number 2, but that list would be dominated by DC heroes versus Marvel heroes. Again, I love Marvel heroes, don't get me wrong. I just love DC heroes more. All right, so that's the only reason why DC got higher. So now my top 5, really my last 3, because I already told you my 1 and my 2. So my number 5 is Mario. And again, we're going off the whole franchise, the movies, the games, everything. I mean, Mario's nostalgic. I mean, next to Pikachu and Mickey Mouse, Mario is arguably the most known character in the world. You could go to Africa and people would know who Mario is. Okay? Like, let's be completely honest here. Mario, Mickey Mouse, and Pikachu. Everybody knows who those are. I've met people who they have no idea what they have no knowledge about Pokemon. You could show them any Pokemon and they would have no clue what it is except Pikachu. That's how I feel about Mario. They might not know Peach or Donkey Kong or any of these other characters, but you show them Mario and they know who he is. He's iconic, he's classic, and again, he's got so many good games. Even if we take out the side games like Mario Kart and Mario Baseball and we only look at the mainline Mario games, he still deserves a spot on this list. Again, they're for young, they're for old. Everybody loves Mario, and the games and the movies are for everybody. You really can't beat that. Now, for my final 2, because again, I already showed you my 1 and my 2. Honestly, 3 and 4 could switch back and forth. Honestly, the only reason my 3 got to 3 instead of 4 was because it has a new game coming out this year. But my number 4 is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is phenomenal. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my comfort game. I have replayed that game more times than I could probably count. I actually have more hours in Kingdom Hearts 2 than I do in Skyrim. I know, it's sad. But Kingdom Hearts 2 has always been fun. Ever since it came out in 2005, and then the 2.5, the 2.8, the 2.8 remaster, all of those things. Kingdom Hearts has always been a phenomenal series. Again, I have replayed Kingdom Hearts 2, more times than I can physically count. Just the other day I started a new game. I had to delete save files because I used up all 99 of them. Again, don't judge me. But Kingdom Hearts 2 is so fun. I love Disney. I know Disney's newer stuff is crap, but Disney in general is amazing. And these games they're just a part of who I am because of the nostalgia. As far as individual games go, not franchises, but individual games, Kingdom Hearts is better than any Pokemon game, individually speaking. Kingdom Hearts 2 is arguably one of my top 3 favorite games of all time. It's my comfort game. Again, I could never get tired of replaying this game. I actually just started a replay of it like 2 days ago. Okay? So this series is always going to hold a special place in my heart. And even though Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't the greatest, it also wasn't bad either. So let's see what Kingdom Hearts 4 brings. And then my number 3 and my last one, because again, I already showed you guys 1 and 2, is Borderlands. This series, oh my god, this series is so fun. The comedy, the action, the gun-zerking and everything. I mean, the comedy alone makes it hilarious. I mean, this game has it all. I mean, the storyline is so, like, the main storyline is so beautifully done in each game. Like, there's a real legitimate story, but then the whole game all the way through, you're doing real, actual, serious topics, and people are saying the dumbest crap. I mean, it's like you watch one of the mainline characters die, and they're still cracking jokes. So it's like it blends comedy and seriousness so well, and the games are just fun. I mean, Borderlands 2. Oh my god, that game is phenomenal. And Borderlands 3, I mean, almost everything Borderlands 2 did, Borderlands 3 did great too. I mean, the DLCs, oh my god, if I rank DLCs, just DLCs, Borderlands DLCs would be number 1. I mean, Borderlands 1 DLCs, the 2 DLCs, 3 DLCs, I mean, oh my god. And then Tiny Tina's adventure, other than the No New Game Plus, which really irked me on that game was so fun too. I mean, I legitimately have nothing bad to say about Borderlands other than Tiny Tina's adventure should have had a New Game Plus. That's literally the only bad thing I can say about this franchise. So Borderlands is definitely up there, especially because the new game is coming out. Even if it didn't have a new game coming out, it would still be 4th. Kingdom Hearts and Borderlands would probably just flip. So even without that new game, Borderlands 4 coming out this September, it's still easily a top 5 series for me. So those are my top 11, I guess, technically, media franchises. I guarantee no one was surprised what number 1 and 2 were going to be, but the rest of these, yeah, that's just my favorites. So stick around for more ranking videos. Who knows what's going to be next? Maybe I'll rank some video game series like I did Assassin's Creed. Maybe I'll do something else. Who knows? Maybe I'll rank candy or soda or something. Oh, and by the way, Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi taste the exact same. You know what? Maybe I will do a ranking video about soda next, just to make people mad. That'd be kind of funny. So, thank you, everyone. Stay beautiful, Americans, and peace.